Welcome to today's podcast. Our topic today is Christmas in the cleaning industry. We are rapidly approaching Christmas. I think we've got 3 weeks to go, but it's not always as smooth sailing in the cleaning industry. There is an awful lot to take into consideration. So today I'm going to be asking Diane for some tips on some of the changes and some of the things that we need to consider and talk about, and hopefully some options to common, I don't think they're problems so much as little changes that come around Christmas time. So how many Christmases have you had in the cleaning industry, Diane?
Oh, this is our 14th coming up.
14
years, yeah.
Do you love Christmas?
Of course.
But it's hard, isn't it? Because a lot of businesses close down over the Christmas period. What do you do at this time?
Yeah, we close down. So we used to work up until sort of lunchtime-ish Christmas Eve and then close down until after the New Year. We've had a few years where some of the team have asked if they can work in between Christmas and New Year. And we did do it once and we would never do it again because somebody let us down. Like can often happen, asked to work and then didn't. So that was more trouble than it was worth. So we don't do that anymore. We close. But we've recently, not this year because Christmas Eve falls on a Saturday, but we've recently started closing on the 23rd so that the team get Christmas Eve off as well.
Perfect. I think we're doing exactly the same. The way it's fallen this year, it's just 1 week. But oh my goodness, that week as a business owner, the reality is we are on call. It is literally 24/7. I mean, we try and ignore the phone calls, but even if you're not directly speaking to people, you're running it through your mind. For us as cleaning business owners or any business owners, a full week, what have we got? 9 days where I'm going to turn my phone off.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not, because I'm
no
in the
emails.
DCN, but like
yeah, no emails, no phone calls. Yeah, it's actually the best week of the year. You can literally switch off and have time with your family. And I understand why some people don't close. Some people, they don't want to lose the income. But for me, as the business owner, it's brilliant. And my management team as well. It's their one time where they know they can switch off.
But there's a few problems with closing down, and there's good reasons why lots of people don't. First of all, if we talk about clients, so if a lot of us don't just do cleaning, you might be doing care, you might be the only person they see that week. So you cannot just abandon them, can you? If you're the only support that they've got, then how you're going in extra on that week if you think they're going to be alone. And if normal customers, I mean, we have customers that have us twice a week. I mean, they're getting even more messy because they've got all the family around. The last thing they want is for us to stop cleaning. So how do you deal with this?
Yeah, we don't do any sort of home care or anything like that. So from that point of view, it's not an issue in our business. But yeah, we do have clients going, what, you're not coming? Or actually the hardest ones are not the worst clients, but it's the hardest, the ones that the clients that find it the hardest is those that are fortnightly. Because if their fortnight falls in between Christmas and New Year, they panic. I'm not going to see you for 4 weeks. So we always try and prioritize the fortnightly clients to either have the clean in the week before Christmas or to be quickly scheduled in after the New Year. It's not easy though.
The problem comes as they go out of sync, and actually then all your cleans would be on one fortnight. So
they go 3 weekly after that. Yeah, we juggle it around. We don't let them change their fortnight permanently, because you're right. Yeah, we'd have nothing to do 1 week.
So again, we've faced all of this. And I think what I've learned about customers is most of them are really reasonable. They accept we need some time off. And so they accept that we're just going to close. But the most important thing is communication.
Yeah. And we start communicating about Christmas early to mid-November. And we've been sending out the same email for 8 years, I think now. It's a templated email. I think it starts here I know it's early, but here at Freshly Made, we like to start organising for Christmas. And that's how it starts. And the bit in the middle changes because the closing days are different and each client gets a slightly different version. But it's pretty much the same email every single year because you have to start the process. And we want to know, there might be a way the week before Christmas and actually not need us. And we can free up those slots. That's amazing. But also it we kind of let them do a bit of a first come, first served. If you do need an extra clean, or you're going to skip and you need that clean a week before Christmas or the week after New Year, you need to let us know early. So it kind of starts the conversation quite early on.
It starts the conversation, but you know, from pretty much right now, so what are we on? So coming up to the second week of December, we start being inundated with, oh, can I get a deeper clean before Christmas? We asked you 3 weeks ago.
Too late. Yeah.
No, you can't have a deeper clean. I mean, maybe if we get a cancellation, but it's I mean, most customers don't need a deeper clean. We're on top of it, but they do like to think they do. And then you start having a conversation of, what do you want? Well, I just thought I needed a deeper clean. Well, what do you want us to clean? Like,
yeah, it might be some of them don't get their guest rooms cleaned normally though, or the guest bathroom and that sort of thing. So sometimes there are those extras, but it is first come, first served now. It's if you haven't already booked, and we'll put you on our cancellation list, but otherwise you're just going to have your normal clean, and you'll have to tell us which rooms you want us to do, but it will be within the original time booked.
So I do some commercial. We've got one office that is open on the 27th, 28th and 29th. So luckily we've got one member of staff that is superb, just does that all by herself. And I've gone, are you going to work it? I was almost like, just tell me you want it off. And I was like, then just going to tell the office they're not having their clean. But she was like, no, I want to work. And I was like, okay, you better not let me down. You let me down. I'm not going in at 8 o'clock at night to change those bins. Not a chance. Like,
we actually have a couple of office clients that still carry on, but again, the members of staff that do them are ultra, I'm going to touch wood here, are ultra reliable, and yeah, they don't let us down, so we don't have to worry about those.
Yeah, well, I think with those as well, given the timing, I would probably say staff members off sick today, not going to clean. Whereas normally I would make sure they were covered no matter what. But anyway, but not everyone celebrates Christmas. So I think you got some stats on this, haven't you? Christian.
Yeah, so well, it's recent, isn't it, that only 40% of the UK is now declared as Christian. So, so that means 60% of people are either another religion or no religion at all. It's kind of a cultural thing, Christmas in the UK, as well as a religious thing. But yeah, not everybody celebrates it.
I know. And I've had staff that go, well, I don't celebrate Christmas. I need time off various festivals. I'm not up on all the different festivals, but they don't want Christmas off. They're going, like, why would I need it off? Especially if they don't have children. It's just another day to them. So it's always a tricky one if you have got different cultures, different religions, and you've got to please everyone.
But you kind of just have to kind of do what's right for everybody, don't you? Try and kind of do what's right for the business, what's right for your customers and your staff. And one of the things that somebody asked in a group recently actually was a member of staff doesn't want to take that week off in between Christmas and New Year, and they're an employee. And my response to that is, well, you have to give for somebody to take a week's holiday, you have to give them double the amount of notice. This is employment law. So if you want them to have a week's holiday in between Christmas and New Year, you have to give them 2 weeks notice of that. And actually, you can make them take the holiday. It might not be great for employee relations, but from a legal perspective, your business is closed. That's how it is. But it's a real dilemma. I know we're all people pleasers in this industry a lot of the time.
And it's not just that. I mean, there are recruitment issues. We are very aware of how good we have to be to our staff. You do not want to lose staff. And to say, oh, you're not earning any money. Well, they will do. If they're fully employed, they'll get paid holiday pay. But then they're using a week of their holiday at the most expensive time of the year. So they can't go on holiday. Yeah. It's not great, is it? So
no.
Swings and roundabouts. Now, there are lots of social media posts going out at the moment. The DCBN, we were the first to get our Christmas cards out, but Christmas cards outdated. Should businesses send Christmas cards?
Yeah, well, we used to in our cleaning business. I have to confess, we don't anymore. So we just kind of stopped.
We still do, but the only reason we do is they just go through the printer and it prints the whole lot and they get hand delivered. So it doesn't cost anything in stamps. It's no effort for anyone to write it. And it's just a nice touch.
Yeah. It used to be a bit of a military operation getting those Christmas cards out, and we'd put them, the staff would, the team would take 2 with them or whatever their clients that day, and then 1 would come back and you'd be like, well, which one did you give the card to? And yeah, we just kind of went, oh, no, we're not doing it anymore.
So,
bit Scrooge, but you know, it wasn't even a money thing. It was just the logistics of it that were causing us problems.
yeah, I agree with it. I've got to say, on a personal level, I don't send many Christmas cards at all. So emails acceptable, Christmas text, a GIF. Can we?
Yeah. Do you buy your clients Christmas gifts?
Oh, I said a GIF, like, you
Oh,
know,
a
the little
gift.
emoji type thing.
Oh, yeah, you could do a Happy Christmas Santa waving at you.
But in terms of gifts, yes, we do. So we buy our customers the same gift every year. We tried different gifts. This works. So we buy them all a chocolate orange and we get it out to them nice and early. And we want to say thank you to our clients, but we also know if we give them a gift, they tend to tip better. Is that really terrible?
Yeah, and actually, yeah, we've always given gifts to our clients. They've gone. We've had such a variety of different things. Little jars of sweets that I sat and made up and wrapped with ribbon and put stickers on, and yeah, so many different things. Chocolates and soap and candles and goodness knows what.
Can
But
I tell you what I did?
we don't do it anymore. We
Can I
stopped.
can I tell you what I did? So it was must be a few years ago. My child was at nursery. So my child goes to nursery in the area where we live, and they had a donation box. Okay, and we had given a lot of our customers, I think they were Glade candles or something, with a very distinctive, because we put a little bow. You know, the ones that are really annoying, so it's sticky bit off the back. We put a bow on top of them. It was my job to stick the bows on. There were about 3 candles in this donation box at my nursery. Now, I know we had a lot of clients that went there. I was like, you don't like the gifts. Never do the chocolate oranges get donated. And I was like, okay. So
everybody likes a chocolate orange. Yeah.
And it was so distinctive that it was from us that I was like, right, well, we're not doing that again. They clearly don't want it or care. So chocolate orange.
Chocolate orange is a good idea.
I was really annoyed. I saw Morrison's had them on offer and I was like, I missed that. And we'd bought 300 of the things.
But if you were a solo cleaner, do you think you should buy your clients gifts?
Well, I think even solo cleaners, I could give a chocolate orange. Like,
doesn't cost much, does it?
So I think it is yes and no, because I don't think cleaners are generally paid enough, so they shouldn't give a gift. Like, I think no. But on the other hand, we do know it is quite common for our customers to be giving us 20, 50 pound tips at Christmas, you know, to be given bottles of champagne. We get given hampers. I mean, the gifts we get given are unbelievable. Like, the first year I was like, oh, like, and obviously we have a lot of staff, so now we have to dedicate 2 tables just to accept the gifts that come in. It's phenomenal, and I get none of it, 0. And every member of staff, they get their wine, their chocolates, everything that they get, and then on top of that, it works out they normally all get 50, 70 quid each just in tips at Christmas. And you know, it's not uncommon that we're taking in £1,000 at Christmas in tips, because customers go, oh, I don't know what to get, can I give you a tip? And we go, yeah, please do. So I can't remember what my point was of all of this. What was it? They give.
I was saying, should cleaners buy their clients gifts?
It's a gesture. Look, if you're going to get given a 20 quid tip, I'd be buying them a chocolate orange, because it's a relationship. You know, you don't have to get them something of £20. It is just a gesture to say thank you for supporting my business. But if they gave me something disproportionately larger, I would not feel guilty. So
yeah,
if my friends gave me something worth loads and I'd given them, like, if they bought me a really expensive £20 gift and I'd given them a chocolate orange, I'd feel terrible. But in this relationship, I don't.
Yeah. And I think, you know, like I say, we've not done it in the last 2 years, but I think we'll probably reintroduce it again next year. But have you ever had clients say, I would rather you spent money on the team than buying as a gift?
Because our gifts aren't expensive enough.
Well, no, neither are ours, but you know.
No, I don't think we have. I'm sure they all go, oh, and you know, don't worry about it. Oh, thank you very much. But I think if you were to buy them an expensive gift or a handmade gift for everyone, I think there would be a certain element of guilt the customer might feel. Gift giving is an emotive subject, isn't it? And actually playing it right is sometimes quite hard to do. And you know, I would love every customer to have a handmade, personally thought of gift about them. But I mean, what position would that put them in? What would they have to get us in return? And you kind of go, like,
yeah, whereas something like a chocolate orange or a box of After Eights or something like that it's a token, but it's just a nice gesture, isn't it? Without being over the top. Yeah.
And if they don't give us something in return, I don't feel hard done by. So
yeah, absolutely.
Gift
So
giving.
talking of gifts, how about your team?
Yeah. So they receive so much at Christmas. So they receive, champagne. I mean, they could expect to walk away with 5 or 6 quality streets. I mean, we get very well rewarded. We don't, as a business, buy our team. We are this year, actually. Do you know what we're getting our team? They're all getting, I don't know if it's a present or not, but we're calling it a present, a travel mug. They all requested travel mugs. So we're getting them all branded travel mugs. We were
Okay.
trying to get them personalized, but it's prohibitively expensive. We can't personalize every single one of them. So they've said, fine, if it's too expensive, we'll all just take a travel mug. And they all get teas and coffees from us in the morning anyway, so they want to walk out with that. So this year they are, I don't know, what do you get as, do I get a stock thing for everyone? I did do a year where at the Christmas party they all got like an award, a certificate. It was all little, what's it called, Mr. Men and Little Miss, and they got like Little Miss Sparkle, and I got them a sparkly gift. So we have, I'll be honest, I don't know how well it works. It's
yeah, we always I always buy them all a gift, and some years they all get the same. One year every single person got something different. I hate wrapping them, I have to say. That's my least favorite bit. And this year, probably shouldn't tell you, they might be listening, but this year I've bought them some a candle set, but it's a Yorkshire candle set, so it's from a local supplier. In fact, he's driving them over to our office this week because of the Royal Mail strikes. He said, I'll just jump in the car. So that's that. Hopefully they'll be well received. They're really nice, actually, like 3 in a in the tinned candles that you get. They're quite nice. So that's what they're getting this year. But yeah, it's a difficult one. Kind of, they do, and ours are the same with the client presents. We put them all on the table, and we kind of raffle them. Obviously they don't buy the tickets, but it means that they can pick 5 or 6 tickets and pick 5 or 6 items that relate to those numbers, and then you've not got somebody who's arriving early picking all the best items. It's just a bit of
we do
luck.
the same thing, and it means that everybody has a perception of fairness, and that's what it has to be, a perception of fairness. So, and
how
they still get
and do you take them out? So do they have a night out or a day out or anything like that?
Yes, I mean, we try and do 4 through the year so that it's periodic, but yes, we did it 2 days ago, and it was lovely. So we have, over the years, I feel like we've tried everything under the sun. This year we followed, so the last couple of years with COVID, one year we were closed, and then the following year we were worried that places were going to close down last minute. So we did book a meal. We always do a meal, but we have now learnt that we keep the drinking in the office. So we do a lock-in in our office. And we have found over the years that if there's going to be problems, they're generally caused by partners. So we would always say, come 9 or 10 o'clock, your partner can come and join. But by doing a lock-in in the office, we know they're safe. No one can fall out with anyone outside of our group. It's all quite controlled fun, and unlimited alcohol. So they're up for this, unlimited alcohol. So we have, like this year, we went out for a meal and we had unlimited drinks for them, all in the office. Those that wanted to go out afterwards could do. We have karaoke, we've done Prosecco Pong, and they have lots and lots of fun laid on. And it's my job to go to the supermarket and stock up. This year, they normally all drink like Prosecco. This year, I nearly ran out of vodka. Like, I got through 2 bottles of vodka. I was like, it's quite a lot of vodka, but whatever, guys, it's different taste, isn't it? So yes, we do. A row broke out this year, Diane.
Oh no.
It was about,
I don't think we've actually had a row yet. There's still time.
A plug hole. Seriously, a member of staff had reported to us 2 weeks ago that she kept finding plug holes. If you go inside a plug hole, it hadn't been cleaned, which is our policy. So we sent the quality manager out. We now have reviewed a number of plug holes and lots of plug holes, and we were due tomorrow to do a retraining session. A row broke out. One girl was like, you lot are not all doing plug holes. They then accused her of being a grass. Oh, wow. I mean, seriously, like, we were like, do you think we don't know about the plug holes anyway? Like, and then I mean, said plug holes to the management are like, come on, I've got bigger problems than plug holes. Who nearly gets into a fight over plug holes? Professional, like,
Excellent.
satisfaction is one thing. So 1 a.m, and we ended it at this point. The fight was like, it wasn't a fight, but like an argument about plug holes. We ended it and we took everyone home. We made sure they all got home. Garrett, my husband, stayed sober so we could drive people to wherever, whenever. And then they continued on WhatsApp at 2 a.m, and I have never had to turn our WhatsApp chat off. For the first time ever, I was like, at 2 a.m, I was like, you can have it back on at 8 a.m, but at 2 a.m it got turned off, and I turned it back on for them at 8 a.m. Of course, the argument, they did not continue, you'll be pleased to know.
Excellent. Yeah, we've probably similar to you. We tried all sorts. We've had the the party nights that they have at hotels,
That didn't
where you book a table. No, that doesn't. I think the team enjoyed themselves, but I was on tenterhooks for the whole evening. So how it could all possibly go horribly wrong.
And I'll tell you what I found with that, they were astronomically expensive.
Yep.
For drinks. So I don't mind buying them a meal and everything, but then you're stuck in one venue, and when every drink is £10 a drink, we said, right, we're limiting it to like 3 drinks each, which I thought was a fair amount. But of course they're like, they've always been used to unlimited from us. So they were like, that's really stingy. And we were like, not really stingy, spend 30 quid on drinks.
Exactly. So that was expensive and could easily get out of control quite easily. And then we did one at the local social club, and that was great actually, because they've got a separate room with a stage, and we got a DJ, and they provided the food, and of course the drinks are really reasonable. And so I left an open tab, and they started drinking shots. So
every time.
The booze bill was just ridiculous, and and somebody threw up in the toilets, and I had to clean that up. So that wasn't so great. Then we hired a village hall, and I did all the food. My husband Mark helped me, bought all the booze. That was the cheapest one, but never again.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
So much hard work. And obviously we had to go back the next day and clean the village hall as well. It's like, no, this is not my idea. But we did do karaoke, which went down quite well. So we've now, obviously COVID, we kind of stopped doing it. So 2 Christmases really, we just didn't feel that you could, like you said, things might have closed down. So throughout the year now, we've decided to do just lunches. So I invited everybody to lunch on a Saturday in the summer. Just invited the whole team, and they didn't all come, but it was just nice. And so that's what we're doing this Saturday, is we're just doing a Christmas lunch in a local pub on a Saturday lunchtime. Everybody's been invited, and there'll probably be half the team there, but it's just a nice civilized way and we're just going to do that more often rather than the great big event, if that makes sense.
So this is what we do through the year. So the one, again, we've been restricted by COVID, but we did a poker night. Whatever, they liked it. I'll be honest, none of them could play poker, but they liked it. So we did a poker night. Again, we're lucky to have an office where this is possible, that we can just do whatever whenever. We used to do inflatable obstacle courses. So it was a 5K run over loads of bouncy castles. We did that every year. We did Tough Mudder. We alternated it. That was good. Similar to you, in the summer we did like a family barbecue. So I had a house with a bigger garden then, so everybody came around, brought their kids, loads of games. Everyone had a great time.
Yeah, I think so. For us, the lesson has been, do you really need one massive celebration when things could potentially go wrong and it will cost you a fortune, or just spread the love throughout the year, which is the kind of the policy that we've taken. Just keep in touch with them socially more often rather than the big event. The only thing that we miss, because we used to use the Christmas do as our awards, so we used to give out awards, and we actually had the chocolate orange awards, which were for the funny things that had happened throughout the year, and we just kept notes of anything that sort of out of the ordinary that had happened, and we gave out chocolate orange awards as well as the sort of achievement awards. So that was fun, and we'll that's something that we'll bring in at the end of 2023.
I think it's fun. I think if you've got definitely a smaller company, it's totally worth it. I've got to say, it did backfire slightly on us one year, where I gave an award and someone was like, I don't think this is right. I was like, right, okay, you get that it's just a bit of fun, it's not a real award, don't you? Like, well, I don't think this is right. And I'm like, oh. And we had so one of our new office staff, we have a review board where we get all the compliments, and we had there's a few feedback, if you're watching on, you'll see inverted commas there, feedback. And he put pictures at the top of a happy monkey and a sad monkey. So they decided they did not like the pictures of the monkey. Right?
Oh.
They were like, you cannot have monkeys. Like, we were like, okay, and they were like, it's offensive. And so we had to take down at 1 a.m. pictures of said monkeys, right? And we were like, really, if that's the biggest problem you've got, the monkeys are gone. We don't care that much about the monkeys. So, sometimes people like to tell you the truth, don't they? And we were like, you know what? If your biggest problem with us as a company is our monkeys, we're doing pretty well.
Absolutely, yeah. I would count that as a win. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
did. So they took our monkeys and they wrote something on the back. I don't know what they wrote, and they shoved it viciously in the thought box.
Wow, somebody had too much of that vodka, perhaps.
To which I was like, all right, I was sat there going, but it was really strange because they were quite angry about said monkeys. And I was like, okay, it really bothers you. Like, if it bothered me, something at my work bothered me, I'm like, well, that monkey would be gone. And they almost needed my permission to go, just remove the monkeys. Like, and there was like a real victory as one of them walked up and removed this monkey picture. Small wins.
So, well, absolutely. Let them take the. So going back to cleaning at Christmas. So what do you tell, or what do you advise your team around Christmas cards in clients' homes and the Christmas tree and all the general stuff that's in the home?
I'll start with cards because I have a story about a tree. So cards, I used to pick them all up and clean it because I wanted to be the best cleaner in the world and we did everything. Oh no, now we do not. Like, just leave them. And now we just tell customers if they ever say anything, it's like, well, no, they'll be gone in a couple of weeks' time. If you're so bothered, you remove the Christmas cards. We are not gonna, they fall over and they overstack them. Oh no, you put Christmas cards on things. That is not our problem for the next month. So Christmas cards are a big no-go, and we do encourage them. Please hang them on the back of your door, your wall, anything you want.
But people have Christmas ornaments and tinsel on window ledges and all sorts, and we just don't clean that window ledge for the next few weeks. Just how it is. To be fair, we're the same at birthdays. If there's birthday cards on the window ledge, we're missing that window ledge out this week.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, we've got, like, you have to make choices in a house anyway. So this is just one choice, and we can justify it. Most customers understand. They'd rather we did the important things, the move. How long does it take to move every card? I'll tell you what we did. So we use vacuums with a big roller brush on the front, power driven roller brush. It's a fantastic one from Sevo. Plug in them as well. And
ECN discount 20%.
Discount as well. And they're sponsoring one of the awards. So
they are.
Anyway, it's brilliant until you go near a phone charger and it shreds the thing. It like destroys it. So the staff are well versed on that. What we hadn't versed them on is, these cables to the Christmas tree. If you go near that, the same thing happens. We blew all the electrics. Obviously, this happened. Blew all the electrics. But worse than that, this tree had integrated lights. It wasn't like one of these wraparound ones. So it had fully. So they were like, right, we need you to replace the tree. And we were like, oh, all right then. How expensive can trees be? Oh, it turns out they can be expensive when they're like 150 to 200 pounds a tree. And we were like, oh, so in the end, I don't think we replaced the tree. My husband is actually qualified in doing these, and he went, right, give me the tree, I'll fix the tree. Like, we would have replaced it normally. It was such an expensive tree, we just rewired the tree. So but that can't happen in most, like, it would be too expensive to fix for most people. It's a new tree. So be careful of those lights. And it's, if it doesn't destroy the whole thing, it's going to be knocking it over, smashing. Sentimental baubles, they're always sentimental.
Always. I actually was given, this is nothing to do with cleaning, but I was given some beautiful glass baubles when I left a job that I was in, and I'd saved them for my tree in France. And the first year they just both fell off the tree because they were too heavy, and I broke them both. So sad. Nothing to do with cleaning, but I was so sad. So they can be sentimental.
2 years ago, it was COVID. Obviously, everything was locked down and life was pretty depressing. So I invested, my kids are a bit older, I invested in all glass. Like, I spent lots of money on these glass baubles. I'm now so proud. My family hate my tree. Like, I love it, but they hate it. And I'm like, oh, I'm torn between this really beautiful tree that I love and Christmas about being sentimental. And we've got every year we buy a bauble, like a lot of people, we buy a
Yeah.
bauble person. We've got all these mismatching, beautiful, weird baubles. And I'm like, can we put them on some tree in another room? Like,
Oh, they're part of Christmas.
I know,
But yeah,
I'm torn.
but you do have to be aware. And also, there's so many, I think at Christmas, there's so many more people around, aren't there? And yeah, houses get busier and you have to be careful what you're going to vacuum up, that's for sure.
So I'm going to ask you, Christmas trees, because we've talked about fake ones, they're real Christmas trees. What are your thoughts on real Christmas trees as a cleaner?
As a cleaner, I just think pine needles. But do you know what? The real ones, the fake ones, they drop tinsel. So I think they're both as bad as each other. But the funniest thing with a real one is when it has to leave the house.
Oh, so funny.
At the
How
end,
many
and it
people?
just wrecks the whole house, doesn't it? And so many of our clients go, we're taking the Christmas tree down the day before you come because we want you to deal with the carnage that it leaves behind.
And they leave it up till the end of January
Yeah.
because they don't want to face it, because they
Yeah.
don't fit outdoors. And
Yeah.
it's quite funny. It's the funny wee things we see as cleaners, and you go, I get it, but should
Yeah.
you do that?
Yeah. Although I did once go to do a quote in July, and we declined the work because it was beyond our scope. It was what you now class as a hoarder's clean. But he still had his Christmas tree up in the middle of the living room in July. But I think there were other
Was it a
issues
real
there.
one?
No.
Oh, it wasn't like brown and like crusty.
No, it's not a dead tree. No.
That's what it's like. My daughter's got a bit of an obsession with Christmas trees, so we've got 3 Christmas trees up. I was like, are you making a forest here? Like, what are we doing?
But yeah,
anyway.
no, it's what's really nice though about Christmas as a cleaner is actually you do get to see all these houses decorated, don't you? And actually I quite like that bit.
They're stunning, the things that
Yeah.
people do. I feel so privileged when we see this, and we try and have a competition. It's just a jokey one internally. Who's going to be the first customer like to have their Christmas tree up? And it did change in COVID. They were halfway through November, whereas now we're sort of seeing the first week of December.
Yeah. And our team would take pictures of the nice ones and send them to us and go, look at Mrs. So-and-so's tree, it's gorgeous and stuff. So yeah, it is quite nice.
Yeah, we should have an award for the customer. You have the best tree.
Yeah.
Didn't know if that's a
Ooh. Do they get an extra chocolate orange?
possibly, or a glade candle with a bow on it, maybe that they can give away.
They can give away, yeah. I think that's is that it on Christmas now?
I think let's have a look. That's most of how stressful is Christmas as cleaners?
How stressful. Do you know what? I think the stressful bit for most cleaners is that scheduling bit, trying to fit everything in. And also, most of us have got families. So we're stressed anyway, because we've got our relatives coming and we want to clean our own house and our kids want certain things and we're worried about paying holiday pay for our staff and et cetera, et cetera. So it can be really stressful, I think.
There is one other thing as well we haven't mentioned, which is quite interesting. If you've got children, there's no holiday care. So
No.
normally you can send them to holiday clubs, whatever you want to go to, whereas over Christmas there's no holiday club. So
yeah,
how people stay open, I don't know. And again, people understand.
Yeah, so it's even harder to stay open in between Christmas and New Year, isn't it? And one thing we didn't touch on with one of the disadvantages of closing in between Christmas and New Year is you've got a big chunk of holiday pay to pay the week after Christmas when your business has not earned any money. So that's a challenge.
Yeah, particularly it's all right if you've got a nice big buffer in your bank account and you've saved it all up, but most of us don't do that. So it's
and for us in our business the reality is December is break even.
That 1 week it is at best break even, because being closed for that week you've still got to cover all your overheads and everything else, so it decimates any profit for that month. And you go, and then on top of that, Christmas parties, gifts, all of this, and you're like, oh,
holiday pay, Christmas parties, gifts, cash flow just goes ouch. And then of course your first week back after New Year is one of the busiest weeks of the year, because it's usually as we go back on the Tuesday this year, so it's a 4-day week.
But it's interesting as well, just coming on to a slightly different topic, recruitment. So I no longer bother recruiting from mid-December, because no one is going to start working for us. I'm saying that I've had a couple in the past, but generally nobody's applying for work. Nobody's sort of in mid-December going, let me start applying and actively looking for new jobs. So what you find is you get more applicants on New Year's Day than at any other time. So most people are filing. What are they filing? What do you file at that time? You file some accountancy thing. People do it on New Year's Eve.
I don't know. Your self-assessment is the end of January, isn't it?
Well, there's one that more people do on like those Christmas, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day any other time. I think it might be self-assessment, might not. But anyway, so they do that. But then we will also see the new year, the new you, all these people that want to lose weight, people that have thought, oh, I might think about a cleaner, but also people that go, I want to change my job, I'm not happy. The great news is we get a massive influx of applicants normally. Please happen this year, please.
Please, yeah.
We should. So it then becomes, you've got to get your advert out because they're applying on Boxing Day, 26th, 27th, 28th. So from a recruitment point of view, you need to be on it pretty much on Christmas Day. So yay.
Yeah, so have a week off, but make sure you've got your job adverts up to date.
But then you need to be replying to them. So you don't get to just put an advert out. So as a business owner, do you ever get to stop? Like you've got this window of like brilliance to recruit in. So
swings and roundabouts as always, isn't it? But no, enjoy Christmas. That's the main thing with your family. Take some time off because otherwise it's very easy to burn out in this industry, isn't it?
Yeah. I think from us, happy Christmas to everyone.
Absolutely. And before we go, just a quick mention, because Louise and I are actually working in between Christmas and New Year this year, because we're putting on a workshop on the 29th, open to everybody, not just DCBM members. And it's all about new year, new ideas, marketing in 2023 for your business. So a free marketing workshop, really.
Woohoo. I love it. I love these because it just gets you motivated. If nothing else, everybody's off work, you kind of relax and you go, okay, what do I need to do? You think, what am I going to change? And it just gives so many tips. And for a lot of people, the thing that they love most about a workshop is this sudden acknowledgement that other people are in the same situation as them. And we talk about things that really are quite relatable. And because we know the industry so well, so unbelievably well, wish we didn't sometimes, really well. And so you come along and you go, oh, that really is the same problem that I'm having. Now, do we get everyone spot on? No, of course, everyone's different. But the workshops are amazing. I love them.
Yeah. So go to our website, the events page. You can book on that completely free of charge for everybody in the industry. New year, new marketing.
Love it. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. See you soon.